Begin.
What is the first thing you think about when you hear the words Las Vegas? Bright lights, gambling, Siegfried and Roy, Wayne Newton perhaps. These are hands down things that represent Las Vegas, obviously. But do you really understand the historical value or how this city came about? Or what about the locals and the tourists things to do? What about facts like sports, crime rate, education system? My name is Ariel Hughes, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, born and raised. And these are some of the things that we're going to talk about today. So let's start with historical facts. I found most of these historical facts in a book called Las Vegas, An Unconventional History, written by Michelle Ferreira. So the first thing you need to know about the history is before it ever became Las Vegas, it was home to many Native American tribes. That was approximately tens of thousands of years ago. It wasn't until 1829 a settler named Antonio Armijo and his 60 caravan of men were working to establish a trade route from Mexico to Los Angeles, and he came about this land. And he named it Las Vegas, which is Spanish for the meadows. Many settlers came and gone throughout the years, and they abandoned the land. However, by the 20th century, wells for freshwater flow were established underground from Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam. This is where the first establishment for civilization came about. In 1931, the first casino in the city was opened. It was called the Paradise Club. The club doesn't exist to this day, but there is a landmark there that represents the history of it. During the 30s and the 40s, Las Vegas was home to many American mobsters like Bugsy Siegel. During this time frame is also where the name Sin City was adopted. And it really wasn't because of the things that Las Vegas possessed, the good stuff. It was really because of the illegal tenders that actually came out of the city. The crime rate was really high. Lots of gang activity, lots of drugs and alcohol, and a lot of prostitution. Hence the name Sin City. So now that you're a little bit more familiar with the history, let's talk about the main attractions that make this city great. So behind me I have a picture of Las Vegas Boulevard, which is most famously known as the Las Vegas Strip. What this is a boulevard that stretches about 15 miles down with hotels and casinos, nightclubs, anything that you can think of, the Strip has it. Some of those things are to include water shows. Some of the biggest celebrities come and they headline shows like Celine Dion, Boyz II Men, even Britney Spears. Las Vegas is home to the famous Cirque du Soleil, which is also the writers of Michael Jackson One Show and the Beatles Love Show. Las Vegas has the grandest hotels in the nation and probably some of the grandest hotels in the world. High-end shopping locations, the best restaurants that you can think of. They have helicopter rides that go over the top of the Strip, as well as the Grand Canyon and the Hoover Dam. And there's also stuff for kids to do as well, which I partake in this a lot when I was a kid growing up. They have the biggest indoor adventure park in the west side of the nation. It's called the Adventure Dome, and it's in the Circus Hotel and Casino. And one of my favorite parts about my city is that it's home to professional boxing, which is my favorite sport. So, if you've been to Las Vegas, some of those things that I've mentioned, you may know. But I can guarantee you some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about next, you did not know. Las Vegas's current population is 600,000 and growing. It's not all about the glitz and the glamour in the city. It's about a lot of business that comes through also. The city holds hundreds of conventions, business, and political meetings each year. Las Vegas is also home to the NCAA Division I Running Rebels basketball team, which is very historical. So those are some fun facts that you probably knew. Now we're going to talk about some stuff that's not so great about the city. According to the U.S. News and the World Reports, the state of Nevada is 49 out of 50 in the high school education ranking and graduation success. Majority of those schools do come out of Las Vegas. So if you ever plan on moving there, make sure your kids are graduated from school because it's a very poor education system there. Let's talk about crime rate. This was actually really startling to me because I didn't know any of this stuff. The FBI reports that there were 70 murders in 2016, and we're only in the month of May. So as you can see, the crime rate in Las Vegas is extremely, extremely high. Las Vegas is one of the top 5 states for violent crimes in the nation. So now I ask you, when you think of Las Vegas, do you still just think of the Strip, glitz and glam? I guarantee you won't after this presentation. So my quote that I'll end with is, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Pretty cliche, right? That's not all the way true because I moved out as soon as I was 18. So this concludes my presentation. I hope that this was well informing for you, and viva Las Vegas. Thank you.